poison bolt. Tina is healed for, let's start to do some positional stuff. So let's say Tina is healed for 5% of her max health for each champion that is adjacent to her. So we start to get into things where when we're doing positional stuff, we start to get into things that start to make the game interesting, which is these sort of positional things. So she heals when we're starting to run out of time, so I gotta start to go quickly here. Tiamat, Tiamat, Tiamat. What other colors of heads do you have? You've got to have some sort of... No, you don't have a gold head because you're elemental, not metallic. Let's say...
Red, white, black, blue, and green.
Yeah, I think we'll do red head. So we can do like when baby Tiamat attacks with a firebolt. I'll just put a note here: red head, green head, red head. Now I'm imagining Tiamat with like hair. The enemy's gold is melted down and drops. Oh man, I'm gonna get into trouble with this one. From them immediately. That enemy can no longer drop gold, or that enemy no longer drops gold when it is killed. But let's also, this is going to be a gold find champion, so let's also put a buff on this. Melted down. They drop 100% more gold than normal. We'll just start to imagine in like the lore of the game that when enemies are killed, they don't drop all of their gold, they just drop some of it. So baby Tiamat's going to help you get all of their gold. One thing that we want to do is sort of note here in the design how they would be, how abilities would be buffed. So we would say this could be, buffed by upgrades, maybe a specialization, and equipment. Sure, why not? Let's throw a feat in there as well. And a feat. And buffs are just, there's no stacks or anything, so we can just say that they're buffed normally. And then one thing last one we want to do, let's see. Melted. I'm going quite quickly at this point. There's probably going to be horrible balance issues with this champion, so it's a good thing that it's never going to make the light of day. Let's do one more head here for, which one shall we do? Something to buff the party. Let's see. Maybe blue. What kind of element is associated with blue dragons? They like deserts. Wait, their favorite climate is temperate, but their favored terrain is deserts? Lots of temperate deserts out there, are there? Let's see. Oh, they're all lightning-y. That could be cool. So maybe we say something with like lightning. So we say like when baby Tiamat attacks with their lightning bolt, blue head, all champions within 2 slots of Tina have their damage increased by 100% for, let's say, 20 seconds. Or for the next 20 seconds. This buff can stack if multiples are applied. Now we're getting fun. power of the blue. I don't know. Buffed by upgrades, specialization, equipment, and a feat. Why not? Okay. Since we've only got like a few minutes left, we got less than 10 minutes, let's just pretend that these are all perfect and there's no issues at all and there's no major problem with melted riches. And let's just think about specializations. So I saw this suggested in chat, and I think it makes sense to have one sort of specialization for each still on? Yeah, okay. For each head that we've kind of got special attacking here. And honestly, if I had more time at this, I would probably come through and probably try to associate each ability with a head and then have maybe a specialization for each ability, or kind of try and pick and choose which specializations are good and which are not. So we'd have some sort of life drain specialization that probably just increases the healing amount of life drain by 100%. We'd probably have some sort of melted riches specialization that increases the gold dropped by melted riches by 100%. Oh my god, that is not going to synergize at all with Azaka farming. Power of the blue specialization. Here's the one that everyone's going to take. Increases the damage bonus of power of the blue by 100%. One thing we didn't do here is we said this buff can stack if multiples are applied in the power of the blue here. We probably want to mention how this would stack. So let's just go ham and say stacks multiplicatively. And then the question is, do we want to say whether buffs like this one here or other buffs apply to the post-stack or pre-stack damage? Normally we would do something like buffs apply to the post-stack damage, but and the reason we do that is honestly just because it's a lot easier to balance. If you apply the buffs to the pre-stack damage, buffs really start to get out of hand. Like 100% buff applied to the pre-stack damage would actually increase this by I think 4 times if compared to one that was applied to the post-stack damage if you had like 100% boost to this, because each stack gets that boost. So that's kind of, it gets out of hand. There's a couple of champions that do that, and we have to be very careful around those champions. Okay, so the next thing we would do here is we would pick our feats. Since this is a tank support gold find champion, we'd probably give them a max health feat by default. That's uncommon. For every uncommon feat, we also like to throw a rare one. Those are the ones that that would pop up in a chest or be available for around 1,200 gems. We'd probably go for a global DPS feat. Those are pretty common too. Oops, rare. We're probably not going to give her a healing one since she just heals herself. The taunt will probably give her a gold find, also uncommon rare, and then maybe one that buffs FA4 rarely, and that's probably fine. Oh yeah, we didn't look at overwhelm point. Good catch. Overwhelm is something that often gets missed on tanking champions because we don't have something here, but sure, why not? Overwhelm point increase. We'll do that one rarely as well. The other thing we haven't really done yet is gone through ability scores and thought about that. because those are really important when looking at eligibility for patrons. So let's quickly just go through and do that. JFC Fuller is asking about the Dark Souls speedrunner. That was Alex. I don't know his Twitch channel off the top of my head. I don't know if you know that, Jay. We'll find out. We'll find out for you. So this champion would be eligible for Mert right off the bat, so that's good. Looks like their Khan's going to be eligible for Vajra as well. Wait a second. I don't have enough ability scores there. There we go. Strength, they are a kobold. They're probably not going to have that high of a strength. Dexterity, they are attacking with a crossbow, so they should have at least a little bit of dexterity. Let's say 13. That strength is going to make them not available for Zariel. Intellect, wisdom, or intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. They're a warlock, so they should probably have a decent amount of charisma. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's give them 9 strength here. And then what we can do is we can put an asterisk here. And we can go down here and we can go a strength +1 rarely, and that will make them eligible for Zariel with a feat. I was going to wrap up in 2 or 3 minutes. I got to do an ultimate. I got to do ability scores.
Because if we run right to 9 a.m., we can close it. So
I can run
right to 9. I'll be
okay.
Here at 9 to be like.
Okay. Okay. That was Dave just checking in to see, and he gave us 5 more minutes. We're going to run straight to 9 a.m. So lucky us. How old are they going to be? That's a good point. Kobolds do not live very long. I think they're like mature by like the time they're 2 or 3 years old. So we can make this an 8-year-old. Bam. Am I right about that with kobolds not living very long? Kobold average lifespan. 5e. Help me out here. Oh, okay. Adulthood at 6, but they can live up to 120 years, but rarely do so. So they just get... they typically die earlier on because they are crazy creatures. So this would be a young kobold at 8. I think that's fine. Let's see. Where are we at? Oh yeah, we were doing our ability scores. So we need to think about whether we want to make them eligible for Strahd. We could do another feat thing. I think this can be a fairly smart, but maybe not super wise. I mean, I don't know how smart it is to how wise it is to pledge yourself to Tiamat. Spurt is age 0 in the game. Spurt's age actually is set to 0.1 something something something, which is essentially 11 days of a Faerun calendar. So a little Easter egg there for folks. So I think these are good. This will make them eligible for all patrons, except for that secret patron with a feat. Which is something we've been doing a little bit more recently, is sort of letting them be eligible with a feat if we want to keep their base levels a little bit lower. Okay, so next thing we want to look at, we're starting to fill everything out here. Damage, cost, and health. Damage, cost, and health are things that we would generally do once we get to the balancing portion of this, which unfortunately we're not going to get to on this particular stream. And we would look at other champions in the same slot, and we would set the costs and the base damage kind of proportional to those. For a tanking champion, we would set a health that was proportional to the sort of the base health needed for a tank given when they get unlocked. So for someone in slot 2, that would probably be not a whole lot of health. It would be I think only in the 200s or so. And the cost, I know Celeste is 50. we can just sort of pick some random numbers here, and we would go through and probably mess around with those. Let's see here. Equipment is one thing that we need to think about here. So we actually let's go to ultimate attack first. So ultimate attack. I would say we probably want this ultimate attack to be related to baby Tiamat again, because it just kind of makes sense. We're kind of relating everything to the little baby Tiamat sitting on this champion's shoulder. So you know, what could we, when we're thinking about ultimate attacks are based on your bud, so we don't necessarily need to think about sort of how much damage they do, because they just do a whole lot of damage. We do want to think about how many enemies they attack. Ultimates that attack all enemies are generally more powerful than ultimates that attack a single enemy or attack a couple of enemies. I think something where maybe one thing that could be cool is like summon mom, and then a random let's just go ham head appears on the right side of the screen, like the spoiler coming up here, boss from Descent into Avernus, and attacks all enemies with her breath, dealing massive damage. And then maybe we could do something kind of cool where it's like, ooh, this could be kind of a cool effect where it's like, until the ultimate is used again, baby Tiamat's oh, hi Dave.
All right.
Oh, hang on, we're almost done.
Okay.
We're almost done. We can go a couple extra minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi Dave. Until the ultimate is used again, baby Tiamat's attack with that same element is increased by 100%. Attack, let's say, and formation abilities. No time to balance this, guys. It's going to be OP. Let's see, we'll just give it a random kind of attack cooldown. Attack cooldowns are generally between 2 minutes and 10 minutes or so. And of course, there's always going to be ultimate cooldown equipment. Everyone loves that. I'm going really fast. It's going to be ultimate damage equipment. We're probably going to give this person some global DPS equipment. We said that we were going to buff a couple of things. We were going to buff FA3 with equipment. We were going to buff FA4 with equipment. And we were going to, well, what do we have left? We'll do max health. Bam. Okay. Let's ship it. There we go, guys. We designed a champion. I'm not sure it's a good champion. It's probably not a good champion, but Tina is going to be amazing, and yeah. So yeah, what are we doing now? We're just gonna wrap it up. Do you want to scoot over? We didn't really prepare
an outro. No,
we didn't really prepare. I prepared an outro.
You want to bring up the Twitch there so we can see that our clock actually has hit the timer?
It's starting now. Oh, we didn't change that?
Oh, no. We said we had 24 hours to fix that.
Oh.
Well, I guess we have to do it again.
Yeah, okay. The next segment coming up. Hey, we're
already here, ready to go.
Here we are for the Founders Q&A. Please post your questions in chat. Oh, everyone's going to be very tired after another 24 hours.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make it.
But, yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's been a pretty fun 24 hours, or at least for the part of it that I was here for.
We've still got about 8 people over there who made it overnight, so that's awesome.
That's a long time.
Yep. And I think, what are we looking at there? Our total has come in at $17,160 and 97 cents. We ended up with 97. Oh, it's I wonder if it's the exchange. It's the exchange, because people donated in Canadian, which was converted to US as Extra Life. Yep.
So yeah, there is still time to donate. Obviously, you can't donate for any of our Extra Life segments anymore because they're all over, but you can certainly donate by making some of the DLC purchases in game. The little displacer kitty in Idle Champions is still available, and all of the proceeds from that are going to Extra Life.
It's until Wednesday, right? I think. I don't know.
Until at least next Wednesday, so you got the weekend.
The sale will say. It'll say on the purchase that it's going to
It'll say on the thing that it's for Extra Life.
And you can actually still donate on the Extra Life pages until I believe December 31st.
Until the end of the year? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, and all of that stuff will go to BC Children's Hospital as well, which is a really good charity. They help a lot of kids. They helped my wife when she was young, with a heart condition that she had, and I know Peter spent some time there with his kids as well. So, yeah, definitely a worthy cause. And yeah, anything else you want to say, Dave?
No, I think that's it. I think everything went really well, and
seemed like it went smoothly.
And thanks for all your donations. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.